Welcome everyone to the first episode of UFO History Lesson. I'm your host Terry Koenig, and tonight we'll be taking a look at one of the very first reported sightings of a UFO in the United States of America. They nicknamed it the Battle of LA. This happened not too long after Pearl Harbor, and the US was as well, on very high alert. It all began February 25th, 1942, when the people were shocked to see a massive blackout had taken effect. Then out of the blue, air raid sirens began going off, sending a panic through the city of LA. The military put large spotlights onto the unidentified aircraft and began unloading on it, firing every bit of ammunition they had. Pretty much everything under the sun except for the kitchen sink. Everything was fired at this aircraft, and it did not move, it did not crash. It just sat there with the spotlights on it and did not move until it felt like it. So, very weird. And I don't know a lot of airplanes, if any, that could take that kind of a beating from rounds and just sit there and not move. Alright, so the official account, which is online that you can check out here, goes as follows. Air raid sirens sounded throughout the LA County on the night of February 24th to 25th, 1942. A total blackout was ordered and thousands of air raid warnings were summoned to their positions. At 3:16 a.m., the 37th Coast Artillery Brigade began firing 50 caliber machine guns and 12.8 pound anti-aircraft shells into the air at a reported aircraft. Over 1,400 shells would eventually be fired. Pilots on the 4th Interceptor Command were alerted, but their aircraft remained grounded. The artillery fire continued sporadically until 4:14 a.m., when the all-clear was sounded and the blackout order was lifted at 7:21 a.m. Several buildings and vehicles were damaged by the shell fragments, and 5 civilians died as an indirect result of the anti-aircraft fire. 3 of them killed in car accidents in the ensuing chaos, and 2 of heart attacks attributed to the stress of the hour-long action. The incident was front-page news along the U.S. Pacific Coast and earned some mass media coverage throughout the nation. No craft was ever discovered. And after the events, the USA said it was a false alarm, just war nerves. It was later said by the government that it was a balloon, as always. Alright, here are some historical accounts, creditabout.com, and a few other sources. This one here, woman air raid warden gives testimony. It was huge. It was just enormous, and it was practically right over my house. I had never seen anything like this in my life. She said it was just hovering there in the sky and hardly moving at all. It was a lovely pale orange and about the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I could see it perfectly because it was very close. It was big. This one here says they sent fighter planes up, and I watched them in groups approach it and then turn away. They were shooting at it, but it didn't seem to matter. It was like the 4th of July, but much louder. They were firing like crazy, but they couldn't touch it. I'll never forget what a magnificent sight it was. Just marvelous, and what a gorgeous color, she said. Alright. So very strange events all together here, so let's review. February 25th, 1942, the government caused a mass blackout and set off the air raid sirens. This was not long after Pearl Harbor. They were very jumpy, understandably so. They put the spotlights on the object in the sky for over an hour and began firing all the ammunition they could and shells at this thing, and it never crashed. Nothing crashed, and they said it was a balloon, like they always do. Pictures of the events show proof. Well, some say yes. You can check those out on their Facebook page, Paranormal Radio Network 2.0. Okay, so the government says it was a balloon. Papers report unknown crafts, but the words UFO were not used because it was not made popular until later on in UFO history. So what do you guys think? When you look at the actual newspaper photo from our Facebook page, as well as other newspaper scans, do you think it was real? Do you think it was UFO? What do you think it was? But the events of what happened do not sound like they shot down a Japanese plane, because shoot 50 cals off at it for over an hour and it just sat there taking it and then flies away on its own. That's not a Japanese normal aircraft. So on this one, I'm going to say it's definitely not a regular aircraft. Was it an alien? I don't know. but no normal planes can take that kind of ass kicking and just fly away with no debris, no wreckage. Just took off when it felt like it. So, if you want to think about it, basically it's like a rope-a-dope. Someone's just sitting there punching the shit out of someone, and the person's just looking at them saying, "What, is that all you got?" and then walking away. So I want to hear what you guys think. Was the Battle of LA Japanese plane? Was it UFO? Was it some U.S. aircraft that was being tested and apparently they forgot to tell the other people? You let me know. Let me know what you think at paranormalay@gmail.com or at paranormalay on Twitter. Direct message me after you follow. And, well, that'll be it for UFO history lessons this week. Next week I'm thinking we're going to take a look at Roswell, but I'm looking at a few other stories to see what we can find here. So don't forget, all the shows on Night of Terror are brought to you by Bloodstains the Book. Go to bloodstainsthebook.com. You can check out some free audio from the audiobook. Check it out, see if you like it. And also purchase the book if you choose to. Tell me you heard about it on Paranormal A if you did. And support our buddy Jeff Mudgett, co-host of Body Bags and Secret Case Files. Alright guys, so that's it for UFO History Lessons. I'm Terry Koenig, and try not to get abducted. Later.